Hey everyone, today, we're diving into the top 10 most famous artworks of all time. From epic frescoes to mysterious portraits, these masterpieces have shaped the history of art. Let's get started. 10. The Birth of Venus, Sandro Botticelli. Kicking off our list is the iconic Renaissance masterpiece, The Birth of Venus. Housed in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, this painting depicts the goddess Venus emerging from the sea on a giant shell, a symbol of beauty and love. Botticelli's use of soft, pastel colors and fluid lines creates a dreamlike atmosphere that has captivated viewers for centuries. The painting is known for its elegance and mythological inspiration, portraying figures like Zephyrus, the wind god, and the Houri, one of the goddesses of the seasons. Some believe the model for Venus was Simonetta Vespucci, a noblewoman admired for her beauty, and possibly Botticelli's muse. Interesting facts: the painting was commissioned by the powerful Medici family, who were major patrons of the arts. Botticelli never married and reportedly requested to be buried near Simonetta Vespucci. Originally displayed in a Medici villa, this artwork was not meant for religious worship but for private admiration. 9. Guernica, Pablo Picasso. One of the most powerful anti-war statements in art history, Guernica was painted by Pablo Picasso in response to the bombing of the Spanish town of the same name during the Spanish Civil War. This massive black-and-white mural, housed in the Reina Sofia Museum in Madrid, conveys chaos and suffering through distorted figures and sharp geometric forms. The absence of color intensifies the emotional impact, making it one of the most striking political artworks ever created. The fragmented composition and agonized expressions turn Guernica into a lasting symbol of the horrors of war and a call for peace. Interesting facts: Guernica was temporarily displayed in New York until democracy was restored in Spain. During the Nazi occupation of Paris, a German officer reportedly asked Picasso, "Did you do this?" To which he replied, "No, you did." Picasso refused to allow the painting to be shown in Spain as long as Francisco Franco was in power. 8. The Creation of Adam, Michelangelo. Adorning the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City, The Creation of Adam is one of the most celebrated frescoes of the High Renaissance. Painted by Michelangelo between 1508 and 1512, it illustrates the biblical story of God giving life to Adam through their almost touching fingers. This moment symbolizes the connection between the divine and humanity. The painting is known for its dynamic composition, anatomical precision, and vibrant colors. Some scholars believe the shape surrounding God resembles a human brain, suggesting a deeper metaphor about intelligence and consciousness. Interesting facts: Michelangelo painted the entire ceiling while standing on a scaffold, enduring immense physical strain. The fresco spans over 500 square meters and includes over 300 figures. Michelangelo, primarily a sculptor, initially resisted the commission, preferring to work on sculptural projects. The ceiling was restored in the late 20th century, revealing Michelangelo's original bright colors. 7. The Night Watch, Rembrandt. Displayed in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, The Night Watch is a monumental Baroque painting by Rembrandt. This dramatic group portrait captures a militia company led by Captain Frans Banning Koch, breaking the conventions of static compositions by adding movement and depth. The striking use of light and shadow, known as chiaroscuro, enhances the realism and sense of drama. Each figure is depicted with distinct personality and detail, making the painting a masterpiece of storytelling. Interesting facts: the painting was originally larger but was cut down in the 18th century to fit a new location. Despite its name, the scene is not set at night. The darkened appearance is due to the aging of varnish over time. The painting was attacked with a knife in 1975 but was successfully restored. 6. The Persistence of Memory, Salvador Dali. Housed in the Museum of Modern Art in New York, The Persistence of Memory is one of Salvador Dali's most famous works. This surrealist masterpiece, painted in 1931, features melting clocks draped over a dreamlike landscape, challenging our perception of time and reality. Dali's use of soft, distorted forms evokes a sense of the subconscious and the fleeting nature of existence. The barren background, inspired by the Catalonian coastline, adds to the painting's eerie atmosphere. Interesting facts: Dali claimed that the melting clocks were inspired by the way camembert cheese softens in the sun. The faceless figure in the center is believed to be a distorted self-portrait of Dali. Despite its small size 24 centimeters 33 centimeters, this painting has had a massive cultural impact. 5. The Starry Night, Vincent van Gogh. One of the most recognizable paintings in the world, The Starry Night was created by Vincent van Gogh in 1889 while he was staying at the St. Paul de Mausole Asylum in France. The swirling night sky, glowing stars, and rolling hills create a dreamlike, almost hypnotic effect. This masterpiece blends reality with imagination, as Van Gogh painted the view from his window but added expressive elements that transformed it into something surreal. The thick, bold brush strokes give the painting a unique texture, capturing movement and emotion. Many interpret The Starry Night as a reflection of Van Gogh's inner struggles, with the night sky symbolizing both chaos and hope. Despite his struggles with mental health, this painting radiates a sense of wonder and infinite possibility. Interesting facts. Van Gogh painted it from memory. He wasn't allowed to paint outside while in the asylum. The swirling sky is believed to be inspired by scientific discoveries, including depictions of turbulent airflows. It wasn't Van Gogh's favorite work. He considered it a failure and thought his other paintings were better. The Starry Night has been analyzed for hidden meanings, with some believing the cypress tree symbolizes a bridge between life and death. It's housed in the Museum of Modern Art MoMA in New York and is one of the most visited paintings in the world. 4. The Scream, Edvard Munch. Few paintings in history capture raw emotion as powerfully as The Scream by Edvard Munch. Created in 1893, this masterpiece is an expression of existential anxiety, despair, and inner turmoil. The swirling sky, distorted landscape, and ghostly figure with a haunting scream create an atmosphere of pure psychological tension. Munch was inspired by a real-life experience while walking at sunset. He felt a great infinite scream passing through nature. The use of vibrant, almost unnatural colors and wavy lines makes the painting feel alive, intensifying the sensation of fear and isolation. The scream has become a universal symbol of modern existential dread, influencing pop culture, film, and even emojis. Interesting facts. There are multiple versions of the Scream. Munch created 4 versions, including paintings, lithographs, and pastels. It was inspired by a panic attack. Munch described feeling overwhelmed with anxiety while walking with friends, which led to the painting's concept. One version of the Scream was stolen twice. It was stolen in 1994 and again in 2004 but was recovered both times. Scientists believe the red sky in the painting may have been inspired by the eruption of Krakatoa in 1883, which caused unusually vivid sunsets in Europe. It holds a record for one of the most expensive paintings ever sold, with one version selling for nearly $120 million in 2012. 3. The Last Supper, Leonardo da Vinci. One of the most famous religious paintings in history, The Last Supper was painted by Leonardo da Vinci between 1495 and 1498 on the walls of the convent of Santa Maria del Grazie in Milan. It captures the dramatic moment when Jesus announces that one of his disciples will betray him. The apostles' reactions range from shock to disbelief, making the scene incredibly lifelike. Leonardo's mastery of perspective draws the viewer's eye directly to Jesus, emphasizing his role as the focal point. Unlike traditional depictions, Leonardo chose to show the exact moment of emotional outburst, making the painting feel alive. The level of detail, from the hand gestures to the expressions, makes The Last Supper a groundbreaking work of art. Interesting facts. Leonardo experimented with a new painting technique, using tempera and oil on dry plaster instead of traditional fresco methods. This led to the painting deteriorating quickly. The figure next to Jesus has sparked controversy. Many believe it represents John the Apostle, but others speculate it could be Mary Magdalene, fueling theories seen in books like the Da Vinci Code. There's no Holy Grail in the painting. Unlike many depictions of the Last Supper, Leonardo left out a literal chalice, adding to the mystery of the artwork. The painting has survived centuries of damage. It endured Napoleon's troops using the room as a stable and even a World War II bombing. Due to its fragile condition, only a limited number of visitors can see it daily, making it one of the most exclusive artworks to view in person. 2. The Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci. Arguably the most famous painting in the world, The Mona Lisa was created by Leonardo da Vinci between 1503 and 1519, housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris. This masterpiece is known for its mysterious smile, lifelike realism, and groundbreaking use of sfumato, a technique that creates soft, almost imperceptible transitions between colors and tones. The subject, believed to be Lisa Gherardini, exudes an air of calm and mystery, drawing millions of visitors each year. The painting's detailed background, with winding paths and distant mountains, enhances its depth, making it feel almost three-dimensional. But what makes the Mona Lisa truly legendary is how it continues to captivate, puzzle, and inspire art lovers and scholars alike. Interesting facts: it became world famous after being stolen. In 1911, an Italian handyman stole the painting, believing it should be returned to Italy. It was recovered 2 years later. The Mona Lisa is protected by bulletproof glass due to multiple vandalism attempts, including someone throwing a rock and another splashing paint on it. Her mysterious smile changes depending on where you look. This is due to Leonardo's mastery of light and shadow. There are no visible brush strokes. Leonardo spent years perfecting the ultra-smooth blending technique. It's the most visited and insured painting in the world, with an estimated value exceeding $1 billion. 1. The Sistine Chapel Ceiling, Michelangelo. Considered one of the greatest artistic achievements of all time, the Sistine Chapel ceiling was painted by Michelangelo between 1508 and 1512 in Vatican City. Covering over 500 square meters and featuring more than 300 figures, this Renaissance masterpiece brings biblical stories to life with breathtaking detail. The most famous scene, the creation of Adam, depicts God reaching out to give life to Adam, symbolizing the connection between the divine and humanity. Michelangelo, who considered himself a sculptor rather than a painter, took on the challenge reluctantly but ended up creating one of the most inspiring works in history. His mastery of anatomy, dynamic poses, and dramatic compositions make the Sistine Chapel a true marvel of human creativity. Interesting facts: Michelangelo painted the entire ceiling standing on scaffolding, not lying on his back, as is commonly believed. The project took 4 years to complete, with Michelangelo enduring physical pain from constantly looking up. The ceiling originally had a simpler design, but Michelangelo convinced Pope Julius II to allow him to paint something much grander. Some scholars believe Michelangelo hid anatomical references in the paintings, including a human brain in the creation of Adam. The Sistine Chapel is still used for papal conclaves, where new popes are elected, making it not just a masterpiece but a historically significant site. Which masterpiece is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content.